Just 72 hours. That is all it took for what looked like the internet's hottest new AI project to go from a revolutionary dream to a complete and total dumpster fire. We're talking millions of dollars in scams, banned accounts, and a security flaw so massive it should be a wake-up call for literally anyone using AI right now. So, let's get into how it all went so wrong so fast.
So you see this number, $16 million, and you're probably thinking, wow, that's what the company was worth, right? Nope. That was the peak value of a completely fake cryptocurrency token that scammers launched by jumping on all the chaos.
And this whole train wreck, it unfolded in just 72 hours. From the absolute peak of its hype to a collapsed crypto token, stolen social media accounts, and a community just left in total confusion. The speed of this meltdown is, honestly, a story all by itself.
And this quote right here, it really gets to the core of why we're even talking about this. One person called it a security nightmare that should make every single person using AI tools right now stop and pay attention. See, the Claudebot story isn't just about one project that failed. It's a huge warning sign about the risks we're all taking in what's basically the Wild West of AI development.
Okay, so to understand how it all went so wrong, we have to start with why it felt so right in the first place. Why did everyone, and I mean everyone, get so excited about Claudebot? Well, it promised to be the dream AI assistant we've all been waiting for.
The appeal was just obvious. This wasn't another chatbot that could just, talk. This was an AI that could actually do things for you. It had persistent memory, so it would remember what you talked about yesterday. It had over 50 integrations with apps we use every day. Think Slack, WhatsApp, the whole shebang. But the key feature, and you gotta remember this part, was full system access. It promised to read your emails, book your flights, manage your files. It felt like the future.
And the developer community? Oh, they went absolutely insane for it. Just look at these numbers. Over 9,000 stars on GitHub in the first 24 hours. It eventually shot up to over 60,000. In the AI world, that kind of hype is like lightning in a bottle. People were calling it a revolution. And then, just as quickly as it rose from nothing, it all came crashing down. The entire project just melted down in a single 72-hour window, and it was all triggered by one single email. Here's how fast it happened. At 5 a.m., the developer gets a legal email from Anthropic, the company behind the Claude AI, saying the name's too similar. By 6:14 a.m., they've picked a new name, Moltbot. But within seconds, not minutes, seconds of that announcement, automated bots had already snatched up the old Twitter and GitHub handles, basically holding them for ransom. And that confusion, well, that was all the scammers needed.
And this is where things get really ugly, because real people lost real money. Scammers launched a fake Claude token, telling everyone it was official. It skyrocketed to a $16 million market cap before the project's actual founder could get the word out that it was a total scam. The second he did, it crashed over 90%, wiped out fortunes that were built on nothing but pure hype and confusion.
But here's the craziest part. The scams, the stolen handles, the crypto chaos, that isn't even the most terrifying part of this story. Not even close. The real danger was baked into the tool from the very beginning, a hidden nightmare that got totally buried under all the hype.
Let's circle back to that key feature we talked about, full system access. What does that actually mean? Well, it's not complicated. It means exactly what it says. You're giving this program the ability to read every single file, open every folder, and run any command it wants on your machine, with your permissions. Now, just take a second and think about what that really gives it access to. It's not just your documents. It's every single password you've ever saved in your browser, your tax documents, your banking info, your private messages to your friends and family. Every single piece of your digital life is suddenly wide open. That was the security nightmare that everyone just ignored.
And there's another layer to this. Even if the tool isn't evil, think about your own computer. It's probably a mess, right? Old files, random downloads, folders you haven't opened in years, conflicting info everywhere. Giving an AI full access to that disorganized mess and asking it to make smart decisions for you, that's not convenience. That is a recipe for hallucinations and unmanageable chaos.
So, what should be really worrying all of us is that this Claudebot thing isn't just a one-off event. It's a symptom. In fact, it basically created a step-by-step, repeatable playbook for scammers who want to cash in on the next big AI hype cycle. And this is the playbook. It's terrifyingly simple. Step 1, find a project that people are going nuts for. Step 2, create chaos around its name or its identity. Step 3, snipe the social media handles when they're vulnerable.
Step 4, launch a fake crypto token to capitalize on all that confusion. And then, Step 5, profit. This pattern is getting easier to replicate, not harder.
So the most important thing to take away from this whole mess is learning how to protect yourself. Let's walk through 4 critical red flags you need to be watching for the next time you see some new AI tool blow up online. Red flag number 1 is the big one. It asks for full system access. Before you ever click allow on something like that, just stop. Ask yourself one simple question. Would I give this level of access to a complete stranger I just met on the internet? If the answer is no, then you shouldn't be giving it to an app either.
Second, if it seems way too good to be true, it probably is. I mean, think about it. An AI that can do literally everything you ask of it needs an extreme level of access to your data. And that extreme access creates an extreme level of risk. The power and the risk go hand in hand.
The third red flag is a total lack of clarity. You need to be asking, who owns my data once I give it to this thing? And maybe more importantly, who is on the hook if something goes wrong and all my information gets stolen? If you can't find clear, simple answers to those questions, that is a massive red flag. And finally, pay attention to how a tool gets popular. Is it through steady, organic growth? Or is it a massive fear of missing out hype train like we saw here? Hype, a lot of the time, is a sign of instability, and it attracts scammers like moths to a flame.
So what's the answer? Well, you don't have to avoid all new AI tools, but you have to be smart. First, separate your risk. Maybe use a totally separate, clean computer for testing new stuff. Next, verify who the creators actually are. Start small. Give it non-sensitive tasks to see how it works. Always watch where the money is flowing. And above all, just stay skeptical. The AI revolution is happening for sure, but the road is gonna be bumpy. Which kind of brings us to a final thought. In an age of artificial intelligence, scams, and non-stop hype, sometimes the most powerful tool you have to navigate it all is your own intelligence. Use it.